Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Tough ball game Saturday. I thought UCA was a good football team. It was a hard-fought game early, and then I thought the biggest thing I thought our defensive line played really well. I was really pleased with the whole unit as a group. To be able, they were doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage most majority of the night. We had a big game, obviously, by Denzel Thompson with 2 interceptions. But our defensive line was exceptional, and I think that was the key to obviously how we did on the defensive side of the football. Offensively, I thought we answered every time there was points put on the board by UCA, and that's huge. We were very opportunistic on that part. Some big plays happened, obviously, by some crucial people, and I think especially the end of the third, fourth quarter, I thought Cody Sutton just had some monster critical runs. Had a great night. Real pleased with his effort and what he's done. And I thought it was probably Ryan's best football game. Maybe not statistically, but his best game overall. There's a lot of other decisions that go on his plate besides when he's got the ball in his hands. But thought he did a great job putting the offense in great situations to execute plays and getting us in the right plays. And obviously his feet, obviously with a huge run, the 75-yard run, obviously was about as impressive as any athlete that's out there. So. I thought there was a lot of positives. There's also plenty of things that we've got to work on, but I like the way our guys handled the pressure of the situation, and you really want to thank obviously our crowd too. I think they're a huge impact in that, and they've done that over and over and been a huge asset here to us and given us that home field advantage. So we know we've got a tough one obviously coming on the road here for his SFA, and it'll be their homecoming, and they'll be geared up for us, but. I like to play it from a driver's seat, and I'm glad we're sitting here in first and the only undefeated team. And we just got to take care of our business and make sure we play really well this Saturday because they're a very good football team. They're very well coached. They got tremendous athletes, and I imagine it'll be a great football game to watch over there in Natchitoches. Any questions?
You played without 2 offensive linemen that are normally starters.
Yep.
Can you talk about their situation and then who filled in for them? Because obviously the offensive line didn't miss a whole lot of beats there.
Right. I think it's one benefit. Obviously, we go down with 2 starters, but the 2 guys that replaced them are all guys that have started at some time. Joe Graves, who was he's played plenty of center, but been starting at guard, moved over and took the guard spot, and I thought he played really well. And then Taylor Romero, who started multiple games here and has been a key role in our offensive line, but those guys, they didn't get a role like they usually do. They didn't get the breaks, and they had to go play the 4 quarters. And I thought they really did an exceptional job. I thought our offensive line played great. I thought they really allowed us to control the offensive line, to try to control the line of scrimmage versus a very good defensive front. Going into the game, we were very impressed with their defensive line, their linebackers. Knew it was going to be a huge challenge, and to come up and rush for 289 yards is pretty impressive by that group.
What
DJ and Ryan. Ryan hopefully will have an opportunity to play this week, and DJ we're not sure about. So.
These injuries?
Ryan's got an injury, and then DJ's got there's some issues with the NCAA compliance, so we got to hold him out right now.
You guys, 2 block punts against you. That's something that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
What did you guys see when you went back and looked at the film as far as?
It was breakdown. I mean, they brought pressure, no doubt. I mean, they came after us, but they brought pressure all night long. We had some breakdowns in protection, and we had some breakdowns in our operation time by our punter. And you put the 2 things together, it's disastrous. And that's what happened. You can't do that. If you're gonna have a slip up in protection, the operation needs to be perfect. If you're gonna hopefully you don't have that, but if you do, your operation time's got to be right, and our launch point on the punt has to be exactly right every time. And we didn't do those 2 things.
Are you satisfied that alignment is functional?
Well, no, not right now, but hopefully after today, we're going to Tuesday, we're going to get it right. Obviously those things we just got to do, and I think we all saw the problems on tape. We saw the mistakes. You got to understand that those are critical mistakes, and that's why the guys we got on punt team are there because we trust them, and they got to realize that, and that's part of it. I don't put it anywhere, but we've had issues with protection. It hasn't blown up in our face, but we've had issues with protection over the course of the year, and we've tried to do some things to correct it, and we're going to go back to basic one-on-one and do what we do well, make sure we do the best things that we do.
Do you have the 3 personal protectors in front of the punter?
Yeah.
You're aligned.
Yeah.
This team that you're going to play, you know, they've been electric on offense for several years, and the defense was an
Yeah.
area where you could go get them, you know, really.
Yeah.
They're playing better on defense. What are you seeing in terms of how this team has evolved on the defensive side of the ball from what they were doing last year?
Yeah, I think they're much improved defensively. Just more, probably not doing as much stuff, but they're playing solid, not making mistakes. You know, making you earn it. You know, and that's a huge part, taking a huge step to playing really well on the defense side of the ball. Is first make sure you're not killing yourselves, and you're seeing that. You know, I think they're a well-coached ball club. I think they're a well-coached defense. I think they've got the defensive linemen like anybody else in the Southland Conference. So you know that means they can apply pressure and they can stop the run if they're clicking and doing things right.
Noticed that, you know, last year, maybe they had some trouble on the back end defending some stuff. You know, and this is throughout the season, but I see
Right.
they have 7 interceptions. I hate to ask the same question I did last week, but 7 interceptions, what's happened there to make that happen for them?
They're playing sounder coverage. They're like I said, kids are in the right spots and they're not blown coverages. You know, I think when we hit them last year, had a real explosive first half on them last year, and it's really because they had breakdowns in coverage, repeatedly, and we capitalized on it. Which we got the guy that can do that. You know, we got a guy with an arm that if you do break down in coverage, we're going to be able to hit you. You know, because he can hit it anywhere on the field. So. They're a lot better. I haven't seen that this year. You haven't seen those breakdowns, and that I think they're playing pretty well in the back end right now.
What's the challenge of Gus Johnson? They're a 3rd-ranked rushing offense. So was it a challenge for your defense? Is it
Yeah.
pretty substantial?
Yeah, that'd be a huge test. He's a good back. He's been a good back in this conference. Now he's getting the ball a little bit more and be able to show his talents and his ability. He's he's a bigger back. I don't know if people realize that. He's about 225, so he's a bigger physical back. He can break tackles one-on-one. Does a great job of seeing things, vision, making the cuts. He can do all that, and yet when he gets open field, he can break it open field. He can break a tackle one-on-one. So that'll be a huge challenge for us defensively to make sure we've got to fit the run right. We can't give him space to run, and then obviously we got to get more than one guy to the point of attack and be able to get him down, because he makes a lot of his yards after contact. It's pretty impressive on that. He's one of the better backs in the conference.
Ben Roethlisberger, they got a quarterback there.
I don't think he may be bigger than Ben. I don't know. Yeah. They say, I think they only list him at 225, but he looks bigger than that on tape. I don't know. He's a big, strong, physical kid. Even when people sacked him, a lot of times they don't get him down. They just get him in the grasp. So I think he's really doing a good job of their run game. He's really that big. He's a dual threat running the football. It's probably what he does best.
New coach is Stephen now, but an old coach to us. How much has he transferred over from Central Arkansas as far as places?
Mm-hmm. It looks like the old Central Ark on tape. Offensively, defensively, they're doing. They're running his offense. They're running his defense. And you see, they're in the infant stage, but being new, that's one of the things. They're probably getting better every week as they go along, and I know obviously against us, we're going to see their best, and they're going to have them ready to go, and we got to be expected and ready to handle that.
I think didn't his staff come over pretty much in time?
I think majority of his staff came over. Yep, I think majority of staff came with him. So, yeah, they're an experienced staff, and obviously they've been to the playoffs multiple times and won conference championships. So. They're good staff.
On their defense, 98, the defensive end, does he compare at all with the guy you just saw? He's another guy that a lot of plays, a lot of tackles for loss and all that.
Yep.
Are they comparable?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to match the young man last week from UCA. I think he may be one of the, if not the best defensive end in the conference. He's got to be top 2 or 3. But very comparable. Yeah, he's comparable. I mean, it's not just him. It's all front 4. They're big, strong athletes, and they can go. But that's Southland Conference football. You're going to see those guys. It's every week now. I think it's one of the things probably in the last 2 years. I think you've seen I think the Southland Conference has really upgraded the defensive line. Everybody, because once one group gets them, the rest of them you better have them, or you can't rush the quarterback and you can't stop the run. So.
Their middle linebacker leads the conference in tackles. Is that scheme, or is he that good a player?
He's an active football player and just sees things, runs really well. They're going to be pretty. They're 4-2-5, a little 4-3 stuff on. A lot of times with their spread, you're just going to see two in the box, but he's just he's active, sees things well, and plays really fast. Yep.
You guys didn't have a more family last week?
Correct. We're not sure on that one yet. Yep. Still wait and see. No. It was a team decision. Yeah.
Of some of the big plays that your defense turned in last week, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Micah's first forced fumble was 10-7. You get it back, and then of course Denzel has an interception, another possession to it. Just you had some key plays that maybe at least allowed you to hold a little bit of the lead until you kind of got going later.
Yeah, big play. I thought that obviously Micah's hit over on their sidelines was about as big as it gets, because at that point they're in the red zone. They just ran a big reverse for close to a first down, or I mean it got the first, and then Micah it's an unbelievable hit, and thank God for instant replay and be able to get the right call and get the call and get it corrected. And just a monster hit at his time, knocked that ball loose, and, in the red zone to come with turnover. And then Denzel's down. Denzel had 2 in the red zone, so those are huge plays by our defense, coming away with turnovers and capitalizing on mistakes.
What did you attribute just your conditioning, just wearing them down, and your fourth quarter was kind of almost signature what you've been doing recently? You just kind of pulled away from you.
Yeah, it's part of that. Maybe partly just the number of people we play. Other things, as games go along, and once you start seeing what they're doing defensively or offensively or defensively, and I'll give credit also to the coaching staff to make the adjustments as we go throughout the game, and once you see what they're doing, being able to make the right calls to put our kids in the best situation to succeed.
You mentioned liking to play from the pole position, so to speak, and just how will this week of practice be? You've got an open day coming up, and just how do you want to go into it as best possible, and you're carrying that, hopefully at least a 1-game lead?
Yeah, again, obviously we just want to have the best practice we can have, and be able to go in that off week, and obviously be able to rest up and heal up, and not having to hope and wish that somebody else beats somebody else, and those type of things. We control our own destiny. We just want to make sure we keep it that way. And if we take care of business, play our best football every week, I think we'll be able to do that.
You just kind of talked about it after the game, too, about the players, the 2 big plays there at the end. Both of those really were, it kind of speaks to the individual talents. I know you guys did some good things to get Brian free and all that, but when Xavier's run was...
It was a great run, yeah.
I still don't know how he did it. I've
Yeah.
watched it 4 or 5 times. I still don't know how he did it.
Yeah, hit phenomenal run. And then I think the most impressive thing Xavier did was he has about a 40-yard kickoff return and broke about 7 tackles in that run. That was about the most impressive. I've said before several times. I think it was most impressive 40-yard run I think I've seen in a long time. So he's a great player, and that's what guys do when games on the line. Great players make great plays, and both of them did that, obviously, for huge plays.
He's going to be a guy that's kind of going to fly below radar with his numbers and all that kind of thing. But he's really a key guy. And when he's moved kind of back, he's used it more in the backfield and all that.
Yeah.
The offense is responding to him.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. We know we got to get the ball in his hands. We got to get him a certain amount of touches every week, and if he does, he's gonna make some good things happen with it. So.